Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, this is the second time I'm recording this video. Why? Because I went to the orthodontist yesterday to get my wires changed out, and guess what? They left one poking me inside of my mouth. So when I was talking, it kept poking me. I kept getting distracted. So I just left the orthodontist to get that taken care of, and now I'm back. Plus, I am a perfectionist. I do not believe in jump cuts. If you use jump cuts, jump edits, whatever you want to call it, you're a bad communicator. And you're lazy because you do not want to redo your work to where it is at the best level it could possibly be. Plus, I don't have time to sit there and be doing jump cuts or edits, and I'm not paying nobody to do that shit when I could sit there and communicate more effectively. All right, life is a journey. You got to work at the things that you need to get better at. Stop taking so many damn shortcuts, man. It costs you time and money. But if you could just spend that actual time to do it right, you're going to get better, and it's an investment within yourself. This is actually the fourth video of the day because I did my morning PSA and I knocked out 2 of my TV show reviews. So we got Dragon Ball Daima review tomorrow at 7, and then Friday we got Dr. Stone at 7, and I also pre-recorded Sakamoto Days for Saturday's content, man. So I'm staying productive. I don't go to work tomorrow, but I am making sure that I get a smooth transition into the work week. The cars are clean as well. I'm gonna clean myself up tomorrow because I wanna have a nice fresh shave for Thursday morning thoughts, man. But this is the thing also, man. I love my anime shows. I'm a big kid. I still play my video games, man. I'm looking at my arcade games right now. And I love to watch my anime shows because it also keeps me creative. I am a millennial. I was born in 85, so I got to experience the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, now the 2020s. And I remember riding around with my grandmother as a child, listening to George Benson, the Brothers Johnson, the Isley Brothers, Luther Vandross, Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Temptations. I believe that our generation are the last generation that appreciates the old school music, the culture, the traditional values. And this is why I'm a huge advocate on, if you were born in that era and you are a dutiful person, you are taking care of business, y'all need to have children, man. If you can afford them and if you can wing it, we need to continue to instill these principles because they're going away. That old school traditional culture is going away, it's dissolving, and we got to do a better job bringing it back because as we know, listen, you need to have a mother and a father in a household. That way, they both set the standards on what it looks like to have a real family dynamic. And this is speaking from a single father. And yes, I enjoy being a father, but is it ideal in the circumstances that I'm in right now? Absolutely not. But I made that choice and that decision, and I got to deal with it. But it's like a do as I say, not as I do. You got to make sure that if you decide to have kids, make sure that you're having kids with that right person, or you're going to end up in a situation like me. I ain't going to say like me because my situation is really damn good. But it's the ideal is just to have both, you know, mom and dad in one house, all right? So enough about that, me sitting there bragging about the millennials and how it's the best generation ever because we got to see the golden age of every single thing. We went without cell phones and now we got cell phones, so we understand what it is not to have the internet as well, because I know I did not get to experience the internet until the 8th grade. So going outside and playing with no technology, and now we have a whole bunch of technology. We got to live through all of that. We got to see the best of every single thing. No generation is better than the millennials, okay? We still know how to have fun without technology, all right? Prove me wrong if I am, but you can't, all right? So, you know why we are here. We are on Tuesday's content, the richest man in Babylon, and we are on chapter 5, and it is titled The 5 Laws of Gold. This resonated with me so much. I'm gonna tell you why, but we're gonna get into it right now. So this chapter starts off with a question by a man named Calabab. And the question is this: a bag of heavy with gold or a clay tablet carved with words of wisdom? If you had a choice, which one would you choose? So 27 men shouted the gold, all right? Calabab, of course, knew that they were going to choose the gold, and he leaves with this analogy. He says, if you feed wild dogs, they will fight and strut after they've eaten, but they will not give any thought to tomorrow, just like the sons of men. If you give them a choice of gold and wisdom, they will ignore the wisdom and waste the gold, not thinking about tomorrow. And that resonated with me big time, because this is why you should not spoil your child in the way that, the world looks at it, okay? Now, my son is considered a spoiled child, but he's not a spoiled brat. What do I mean by that? I don't give my son anything that he does not earn. Yes, he lives a good life. He gets to travel. He has things in his bedroom that other kids wish that they had. But let me tell you something. If he was not a good student, if he wasn't as respectful as he is, if my son is the best representation of who I am, all right? If he wasn't all of these factors, he wouldn't have none of these things, okay? And then also, teaching him the value of a dollar is important. This is why I don't give him shit, nothing. He has to earn every single thing so he understands what it means to earn things. So when he's able to buy stuff, for an example, he just bought Minecraft on my PlayStation so he could play it. I didn't pay for that. He did. He earned the money in order to do so, okay? So you have to understand the value of a dollar and also the wisdom that you have to learn in order to appreciate the dollar. So that was my little rant, but I'm gonna get back to it. So Calabab also says this. He says, gold is reserved for those who know its law and abide by them. And he says, I'm going to tell you guys, which are his workers, a tale that you've never heard before. They're out in the desert, okay, mind you. There's tents, canopies, there's, horses around. It's late at night, and they're all gathered around to hear what Calabab is about to tell them. And he says, listen, I'm going to tell you the wisdom of Arcad, all right? So a chief packer says, well, we already heard of him. He's the richest man in Babylon. And Calabab says, yes, but tonight I'm going to tell you his great wisdom. Nomasar, his son, told me when I was a young lad. Now he goes into his story. He says, one day, him and his master went to the palace of Nomasar, and he needed to try on these rugs in his palace, all right? So as soon as he chooses these rugs, because he was laying them out, whenever you trying to get your decor on, he offers them to sit down and have a drink with him. Then he tells them a tale of his father Arcad. Now, mind you, at this particular time, it's custom for the sons to stay at home until they inherit the estate, all right? Now, Arcad did not agree with that. He told his son, if you want to inherit the estate, you must prove that you are capable of wisely handling it. He also told him that you need to go out in the world and prove that you can acquire gold and make yourself respectable among men. Now, I'm kind of torn with this because I can resonate with this due to the fact that I had to get out on my own early at 19. I got kicked out the house. And I told you guys last week that's what happened to me. And it was one of the most rewarding things that I had to experience. Now, did I do anything in particular to get kicked out? Not necessarily, but I did want to do my own thing. And I am a firm believer on you cannot have two lions in a den, man. Somebody got to leave. Even the lions kicked their cubs out whenever they become grown, because you start feeling yourself and you start really having friction between the male lion, right? So I kind of get it. I'm kind of torn between the two. But I told my son this: listen, this is your house. But if something happens to daddy, there's a thing called a will. And I kind of explained to him what a will was. And I said, you will not inherit this house unless you do the things that are required from you within the will that I put together. So yes, you're going to go out and have to make a man out of yourself, but I'm going to teach you the knowledge, give you the wisdom in order for you to go out there and be successful. So parents, listen, you got to teach your kids early. Don't kick them out too early when they don't know how to take care of themselves. You have 18 years to teach your kids how to take care of themselves. And if you're not utilizing that time wisely, why would you kick them out unless they're doing something stupid, right? And they're causing stress and putting your life, in danger and things like that. I get it, extremes, right? But in general, don't wait too early. Don't kick them out too early when they do not have the necessary tools and the knowledge needed in order for them to take care of themselves. It's hard out here, all right? Especially like renting and all of that. You can't expect a kid turning 18 years old to be able to afford a $1,200 to $1,500 rent. Like, it's unrealistic. So you got to keep that in mind. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So he gives his son two things: a bag of gold and a clay tablet carved with the 5 laws of gold. Now, the gold is for future success, and the tablet is for teaching, competence, and security. All right. So Arkat also told Nomasar to come back in 10 years to update him. And if you prove yourself, you will inherit the estate. If you do not prove yourself, then he would give the estate to priests. So Nomasar comes back 10 years later. Arkat gives him a feast at the estate. And after they feast with their friends and family, they're drinking, having a good time, Nomasar gives them an update. So he tells Arkat that the gold that Arkat gave him, he lost it due to inexperience. He went to Niev, which is a city, for opportunities to work and make money. He joined a caravan. He befriended 2 people, and they talked him into betting on a horse race. Come to find out, these guys were con men. They rigged the whole race, and he lost a significant amount of the gold. Then he befriended another person, right, within that caravan. And he talked them into buying a merchant shop. But Nomasar had to invest the money because the other guy needed to go back to Babylon. Well, the guy never went back to Babylon, never came up with his half of the money. Nomasar kicked him out of the business. The business actually ended up tanking, and he ended up having to look for employment. He also had to sell everything he had: his horses, his slave, his robes, right? But this is the good thing. He stayed determined. He started reading the 5 laws of gold on that tablet that his father Arkat gave him until he learned every single one by heart. Then he explains to his friends and his family what the 5 laws of gold are. And that's where I actually stop, because next week we're going to do a complete breakdown on these 5 laws. And I like this part of the chapter, man, because I can literally speak to every single part of this. I had to go out there and get it on my own with no help. I had to use the knowledge and the wisdom that I have learned over time, like working with my hands. My stepdad taught me that at a young age, and how to budget my money. My stepdad taught me that as well. My father taught me how to hustle, how to go make money, whether it's legally or illegally. It is what it is, right? But I took those wisdom, that knowledge that I needed to build myself up to who I am right now, man. So guys, the key points of this is: do not kick your kids out too early, 1. 2, when you do decide to do that, make sure that they have what they need to at least make a man for themselves, right? Make a life for themselves. So you can't send them out to the world, high and dry without nothing, all right? And make sure that they earn every single thing. You tell your kids, I'm not giving you shit. You earn every damn thing. And you need to also value a dollar. Now me, the way that I do that, I pay my son about $5 every time he mow that backyard. I could pay him more, but why would I do that? He wouldn't appreciate money, at a significant range if I paid him a lot of it, okay? Then he would have an expectancy of, oh, I need to get paid a significant amount for something that's basically like a bare minimum thing. So no, you make them go out there, especially if you got boys, you make them sweat that shit out and you pay their ass low. So when they build themselves up and they understand the value of a dollar, they'll appreciate it more. They'll understand what, working hard is, right? That's why they have minimum wage. And that's basically what I'm teaching them. Look, you're going to have to bust your ass for this $5. And if you continue to do a good job, you'll get a raise doing it. Right now, that's all he's worth. But eventually, he continues to perfect that yard. I will pay him more money. But that is Tuesday's content, man. I'm going to clip this bad boy up, post it tonight at 7 o'clock. I got to still get dinner ready, get everything else together before I pick up my son. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, all right? I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.